10:02, February the 3rd. That guy who said we got 6 more weeks of winter. Today, our lady vice chair, she's having to attend a funeral. And our secretary treasurer, he's been sick for the last 2.5 months, and now he's finally got the flu. So we do have a legal quorum today. And I'm going to delegate to Mr. Johnny Poway, if he would, since he is our CBC #1. On that part of affirming who's here, Johnny, I'll have to call upon you if you're okay with it. You okay with that, Johnny? All right. How many got an agenda today? All righty. Protocol. We're going to go ahead and call it to order. Johnny, could you go ahead and make a roll call, please?
All right. William Nelson Sr.,
Here.
Susan Cothran, Robert Tipicani, Jonathan Poway, here, Eddie Odyssey,
Here.
Ronald Redout,
Here.
Clyde Narcomi.
Here.
Mr. Chairman, we do have a quorum.
Thank you, sir. That said, we've been going over the budgets for our 77 programs. We have 77 programs in our tribe, not including our per capita and our elders payment. And we've been doing that for about 2 weeks, getting ready for 2019, which is 9 months away. Boy, it just seems like you quit one fiscal year, go right to another one. With that said, Mr. Red Elk and Mr. Poway, they've been very instrumental with a core group of Comanches. And I'm listening to what they're saying. What they're saying is, this is it. If we don't come to terms to try to learn our language and speak it, we will not have a language. It's come to that time. So with that said, Mr. Red Elk rendered a beautiful prayer to our Creator there, and I believe he's handed out flyers for people to go over this prayer with him. The prayer has so much meaning. When you pray to God, Namatekwa to Ta'apa, it seems like it covers more than English will ever cover. Mr. Red Elk, could you render a prayer?
Certainly. If any of you did not get a copy of that prayer, it's over here on this table, and I'll give you some time to get it. Before the prayer, I'd like to say that we have had many Comanche speakers that have contributed a lot of information to the Comanche Language Committee. And Vincent Martinez is one of those speakers, and he composed this prayer for the Language Committee. And I'd like to honor him today with this prayer in open session, because I feel like if the CBC is willing to do it, we will start a project that will hopefully take our language from a state of obsolescence to a living, breathing language. And it will take all of us to do that. Whether you know a little, know nothing at all, we as a community of people need this language to continue our unique identity status as a group of Namana. Meeko, Nansutak. Sumeeko, Nama Apgaard. Ike, tai Nama Rekwap, Nama Tööturue Mak, Nani Nians. Nami Sutai Name Niwana. Nami Nana Sutai Kuwino, Namunak Wetut. Sirmai, Narutuekat. Saaku, Ika, tai Nama Rekwapa, Ni Tapor, Mian He, Win. Nami Nomnetina, Saaku, Suat, Maka, Mia, He, Wino Apgaard. Nama Uda Tuetua Mian, Nana. Saaku, Sovitai Mian, He, Wino Na Apgaard. Saaku, Sovitaitsi, Win, Narutuekat. Nama Han Suwain, Na Ap, Namanait. Uksei, Nomnetina, Nami Tuetuakat. Debop Mak, Nama Saapunikan Mian, Nana. Nami Masuritai Mian, Me, Anana Apgaard Tomovat. Ike, Nana, Nama Tekwapha, Wino Bonards. Namunak Wetut, Uhani Mian He Apgaard. Ukse Nama Niwain, Saaku Nana Naruite, Win Tabo Kanitu Naruite Mian. Ke Nakuitsait, Ke Ai Nasukat, Ke Tessa, Ke Maku Nanikanait. Saaku Nak Nai. Nama Tekwapha Wino Mian He Buha Na Apgaard. Nami Nana Sunniku Sutai Wino. Eka Nami Tuetua Suwait Na. Suat Miat Saaku Oyok Eka Tsa Nama Tekwapha Sovitaits. Oka Namunak Wetut Nama Teret Saapunikan Mian He Ana Apgaard. Otsatsa Nama Nigwain, Nani Nama Nia. Nami Sutai Na Se Bernharde. Amen.
Thank you, Mr. Rideout. And the late Mr. Martinez, he contributed quite a bit to Yan. You know, when our people pass away, a part of us goes away. And this effort here has to be 100% that everybody's all in. Before, we always had program here, program there, program here for language, and everybody kind of made their own faction about it, and then it kind of got dissolved and disillusioned. This time, hopefully, we can all do as the late Malcolm X said, by all means possible, Namatekwan, and get the Tekwan. With that said, I would like to make mention to amend this agenda, Business Committee. If you'll look to the back of what has been given to us, there's two resolutions that need to come forward, which is Resolution number 3318 and Resolution number 3418. Is very relevant to our court. It'll be the first resolution that actually cites our court. So with that said, for us to continue in parliamentary decorum here, to continue, I need someone to pose that motion to this body.
So moved.
Moved. I do need a second to continue.
You want to table it? Is that what you say?
Now, I'd like to move that we bring it forward to amend the agenda to include these two.
Move them to the top, is that what you're saying? or
No, to put them in, because, it wasn't on the original agenda.
Well, these people already signed off on it?
I think you're looking at something different. Can you point him to that, Julia? Julia is the assistant for all 7 of us. She wears 7 hats.
I think it's what she put in here.
What was those numbers again?
It should be,
33-18,
yeah.
34-18.
We'd be remiss not to do this with the opening of our court. Because by our Constitution, anybody throughout our nation has the right, the Bill of Rights, to petition anything. And it's always free according to the Constitution.
Yeah, just keep going that way.
We do have a motion. If I do not get a second, I guess we'll have to just wait till next month.
I think we should table it.
Well, we got a motion to go forward. If I don't get a second, I guess in 10 seconds. 10, 9, no. We won't need a table. It'll just be killed right here.
Who put these 2 resolutions in?
I did.
You did?
Yes, I did. The court came functional February 1st, and I found out that there was a set of, everybody that's been on this seat, and there's been 20 changeovers here. I see Mr. Cotapony here and others that served on this table here. Everybody's got their own idea and reflection of what this government should be, and it's always based off the Constitution. Something revolutionary has happened, revolutionary, dynamic. We have a judicial system. We have an actual court. Our people have always said, we do not recognize the CFR court in Anadarko. Our children through our children's court, we've had lay judges. And they paved the way for us. Our people have voted on this for 10 years, Clyde. It came live February 1st. The full docket of CFR courts coming here, people. It's real. It is real. Civil, criminal, divorce, get married, the whole gambit, every bit of it. And you don't get justice here, we go straight to the Western District Court. Wow, really? Okay. So here we are. I've got 2 items here that need to be reflective to this new court. If
I got a
y'all need a
question.
full month for it, we'll wait.
I'll second it.
Dang, I had to sell it. I had to sell it just to be heard. Anyway, guys, you still have the vote on it, so it's a good check and balance. Okay. With that said, we got a motion and a second. Business Committee and our legal quorum of 5. Please signify by saying aye to add this to the agenda. Aye.
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 All those opposed, same sign. For the record. Did pass. Also, I believe we have a Miss Carolyn Cotapony here today, right? Carolyn, are you here? Hi, Carolyn. Carolyn, I'm going to ask this committee if we can go on ahead and do what we just did, that if you can come forward, because I think it's great that we have annual meeting in 72 days. 72 days. What I have to do, I have to approve it first, okay? And then we'll go there. We got 72 days for the annual meeting. People bring resolutions or ideas to the annual meeting, and either they're shouted down or killed. This is a good way, this is a great way to bring it forward now, so we can get it on the agenda. So I'm asking the business committee, there's a resolution today of a request to come to the annual meeting. And I'm just asking if we can amend the agenda to allow Ms. Carolyn Cotapony to bring this forward after we do our regular business. I need a motion to carry it there to add that to the agenda.
Make that motion.
Clyde makes the motion. I need a second.
I'll second that motion.
Seconded by Mr. Red Elk. All those in favor to hear this resolution to come to the annual meeting, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right, Carolyn, you're on. All right. Not yet, not now. We got to approve our minutes yet. Yes.
Since you're making that resolution, I have a request, a handwritten request to be put on the agenda for the general council also. Would that be a time?
Why don't you put that in writing, sir?
I do.
We come to our March meeting. That'd be a smart move,
Sir,
Mr.
I've asked to
Ramos.
be put on the agenda every meeting since October and have been denied.
Well, sir, it sounds like you have a complaint, and guess what? You got a court over there, 50
I will-
feet that way.
I will file a criminal
Please
complaint.
do that.
But I do
Please
have
do
it in
that.
writing.
I think what you have is a complaint, not something for the 17,000 membership of our nation. All right. Can we look over these minutes, guys? I was not here. I think the nation and people, praying people, for the prayers for my wife. It's kind of kept us busy, but you know, business at hand. Everybody has situations. It was covered in Mr. Reddock's prayer about our nation. With that said, while they're looking at that, Mr. Ramos, I'm glad you made mention of that. You know, there's 5 things that's happened, great things. I'm glad Adrian's here. Are we going to start on the Indian Hospital Road? Are we going to start on Lori Tatum Road, sir?
Yes, sir.
When are we going to start?
Notice to accept bids in the paper this week.
All right, all right.
That, it shouldn't take very long.
How many tried to go to the hospital and Rogers Lane was closed? God. So that's one great thing. The greatest thing historically was February 1st. And kind of got a little emotional, kind of got a little carried away. I didn't know I could speak that well. But on film, man, I'm big as a house. God, I got to lose some weight. Lord have mercy. Anyway, it was a very historic day to have a judge that is Comanche to swear in another judge. And their combination of years in the legal field is about 50 years. And a prosecutor that we're going to affirm today. The court is live. The court is live. I don't know how we got by, Oscar. I don't know how we got by. Here, everybody played the judge and right here, you know, we shouldn't hear such things. 7 people to play judge and jury and prosecutor and bailiff. You know? So it's historical. And, you know, people want a constitutional convention, and we got the judicial branch. So hopefully later on, with the semblance of stability that we collectively here have tried to bring to our people is stability. With this court, it really stabilizes many things. It makes people confused because we've always had a pseudo type of government, Mr. Guerrero, where 7 people are the legislative, are the judicial, are the executive, and we're just too big now. We're 17,000 big, and now we need to go to true governance. Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I move that we accept the minutes.
Yes, sir. Motion made to accept the minutes. I need a second to continue.
Second it.
Seconded by Mr. Poway. All those in favor to accept January's meeting from 2018, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. We're going to go right to resolution number 1918. Amber Hedge is our enrollment director, Amber, could you stand? Amber's been tasked to do many things, and one thing we're going to task today is to get what I call political wrangling out of her department, which is petitions, and take it to the court. What do you think about that, Amber? She laughed. All right, great. Amber, you've done good work. Your staff, they are duty officers. Hopefully, we can come to that term that you are a duty to the Constitution. You are duty officers. It's just no longer an enrollment clerk. Well, it's really hard to tell the Comanche people, and I need to reflect this with this new year upon us. If the BIA was to burn down today, Mr. Guerrero, would they have perfect record of you, your entire family, and the pedigree that got you here to be a Namana? What do you think, yes or no? Probably not. So we've got to protect what we got, and we got to get Amber a safe place. Safe place from fire, flood, mold, moth, for us to be in continuance for time immemorial. Thank you, Amber. Give her and her staff a hand. They do a good job. All right. Resolution number 1918. Today, we have a list that includes names of applicants who have been verified as eligible pursuant to Article 3, Section 1C, membership of the Constitution of the Comanche Nation. Our Constitution states all descendants of allottees eligible for membership under the provision of Section 1A of the article having an 8th or more degree of Comanche Indian blood. Now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee accept the verification of eligibility for the applicants as shown on this list, which is named 1081. Be it further resolved that the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office notify the eligible applicants by letter of their approved membership, and further that the enrollment member be provided information concerning their enrollment, including name, date of birth, roll number, social security number, and degree of Comanche blood. Clyde, how many we have here, sir?
We have a total of 26,
26 new Namana.
and 14 of them are 1A.
All right.
And I'll make a motion to approve resolution number 19-18.
Motion made on 1918 to continue. I need a second.
I second.
Seconded by CBC Odyssey. All those in favor for approving resolution number 1918, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. And here we go. From Florida, Presley Rose Burmeister. Oklahoma, Clinton Dell Bussey. From Texas, Greer Elizabeth Gatlin. From Texas, John Granger Gatlin. From Oklahoma, Zoe Ryan Gooday. From Oklahoma, Eliana June Holiday. From Oklahoma, Vera Bella Mae Howell. From Kentucky, Landon John Howry. From Oklahoma, Daly Lorene Comanche. From Oklahoma, Isabella Grace Comanche. From Oklahoma, John Robert Lehman. From Oklahoma, Casey Starla Littlehawk. From Oklahoma, Halen James Paget. From North Carolina, Sean Lynn Poway. From California, Isabella Marie Rodriguez. From Texas, Avery Grace Sanders. From Oklahoma, Remy Sari Otataivo Selby. From Texas, Luke Isaiah Serrano. From Oklahoma, Zeandra Raylyn Terry. On this next one, it's confidential. I believe it deals with the ICW. From Oklahoma, Brooklyn Marie Beth Topa. From Oklahoma, Dason Richard Vasquez. From Arizona, Jordan Noda Wani. From Oklahoma, Kason Morgan Wormy. From Oklahoma, Abraham Jordan Williams. From the state of Maine, Jonathan Antonio Zaniga. Let's give him a hand clap, everybody.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
you know that Sabrina from the City National Bank. You know, every time we meet with them, they say there's Comanches in every state except Maine.
Now we got one.
And now we've got one in Maine.
That's great, all right. Resolution,
Got the states covered now.
yeah, all 50 states, and, all right. 2018, people. This is documentary evidence on file with the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office and information furnished by each applicant named on this list, which is number 1082. They do not possess the required 1/8 degree of Comanche blood, and it does meet the provisions of Article 3, Section 3C of the Comanche Nation's Constitution. And be it further resolved that each applicant on list number 1082 be officially notified of the rejection for membership, stating the reason for such determination, and including the appropriate appeals provisions. This is resolution number 2018. There was 3 people that attempted to come on a roll. Business Committee, I need a motion to move forward on this.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, motion made by CBC Narcomi. Need a second, please.
I second it.
Seconded by CBC Odyssey. All those in favor for resolution number 2018, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. 2118. What we have here, we have documentary evidence on file with the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office and other tribal records verify that each applicant named on list number 1083 is an enrolled member of another tribe because he or she does not meet the provisions of Article 3, Section 3B of the Comanche Nation's Constitution. The person is, and it does speak to this in our Constitution, the person is at the time of the adoption of this Constitution an enrolled member of another tribe, or has in the past received and accepted, or if a minor whose parents or legal guardian has received and accepted for said minor material or monetary benefits as a member of another tribe. Now therefore be it resolved that each applicant named on the attached list, number 1083, is determined to be ineligible for membership. Be it further resolved that each applicant on list number 1083 be officially notified of their rejection for membership, stating the reason for such determination, and including the appropriate provisions. There's one person here with that lengthy resolution. Business Committee to accept resolution number 2118. Please signify. Oh, I need a motion to get that done.
I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr. Narcomi. To continue, I need a second.
I'll second that.
Seconded by Mr. Red Elk. All those in favor on this resolution number 2118, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
How much Comanche blood does this person have?
Would you like to answer that in executive session? I mean, we just passed it, so
Do you know?
I do.
make sure it's confidential.
That's what I was trying to figure out how to answer it without, well, I can answer it in executive
Well, we'll put down the others, how much they are on the other page.
session. Right.
Well, they qualify.
It doesn't say confidential anywhere here. Is this a minor?
It is a minor,
Okay,
yes.
go on, you can tell me later.
That present, I can say they are enrolled in the Apache tribe of Oklahoma, so there we go. All righty, resolution number 2218. Whereas the documentary evidence on file with the Comanche Nation Enrollment Office and information furnished by each applicant will be named on this other list, which is number 1084.
So he can switch to the.
These people does not descend from a Comanche allottee as provided by Article 3, Section 1B. Now therefore be it resolved that each applicant named on the attached list number 1084 is determined to be ineligible for membership with the Comanche Nation because he or she does not meet the nation's constitutional membership requirements, which is they did not descend from an original Comanche allottee. Be it further resolved that each applicant on list number 1084 be officially notified of the rejection for membership, stating the reason for such determination and including the appropriate provisions. Business Committee, it seems there were 4 families that came forward. Documentary evidence said these 4 did not come from an original allottee, so I do need a motion to continue.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made by Mr. Narcommi, a second to continue.
I second.
Seconded by CBC Odyssey. All those in favor of resolution number 2218, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Resolution number 2218 does carry. We got resolution number 2318. We have our transportation director here. Can you give us a description for our people here and watching abroad? Where are these areas, Adrian?
This work is route number 6827. It's, the road coming out here from the dollar store, the road getting to the complex, and then north, or when you get on the north end, it goes back to the Spur Casino.
All right.
That's listed as one route. If you've been on it lately, you can see that it's starting to deteriorate.
Pretty right.
And we want to rehabilitate it before it's all gone. We do that at a lesser cost.
Okay, great. So really, where we turn into our complex from Highway 49,
Right.
going to Medicine Park, is that you come to the stop sign up here at, what road is that?
McCracken.
McCracken. All the way to the casino.
Right.
Full L. Wow, good job. Anything else?
You know, this other 7303 is in cash. It's from the new 62 highway to old 62. It's basically a mile of tore up, beat up asphalt.
Got Comanche
The
members
county
out there?
the county will do the work for us. All we're gonna do is pay for the material. We do it that way, we can do more projects.
Eddie, you know where that is?
Yep.
Pretty bad.
They need to fix it.
All right. Anything else?
This other 6649 is Dio Mission Road. That road to the church out there needs some repairs. All we have to do on that too is just pay for the material. And 4317 is between Cash and Indiahoma. It's a mile or two stretch in there that needs rehabilitation. And 6914 is the Indiahoma. They refer to it as the Indian Road, south of Indiahoma. There's 2 different routes, but it's all the same road. It's just the way it came out on the inventory list. So when we do that, we'll do 2 different route numbers, and we'll do the full 4 to 5 mile sections, whatever needs to be repaired.
You know, it would behoove our membership if you could possibly put that on PowerPoint in the future and just say, here it is, and everybody would get an ideology instead of just our lip service. Anyway.
That's all we have for this
Okay.
this time.
All
That
right.
should keep us pretty busy for the summer.
Okay.
But because we still have some that we are still working on from last year.
Okay.
They're about to finish them up this spring.
Right. Jimmy, all the paperwork in order? All right. Resolution number 2318. Comanche Nation is a federally recognized Indian tribe with the Constitution approved and ratified on January 9th, 1967. Whereas the tradition of sovereignty of the Comanche Nation since time immemorial long predates the existence of the nation, and it does establish the inherent sovereign powers and rights of the Comanche self-government. Whereas the Comanche Constitution, Article 6, Section 7, establishes the CBC as a duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the nation. Whereas the Comanche Nation Department of Transportation wishes to add these routes to the tip. What's the TIP stand for, Adrian?
Transportation Improvement Plan.
There you go, acronyms, Transportation Improvement Plan. Then enter into an intergovernmental agreement with Comanche County District 3, route number 6827, route number 7307, route number 6649, route number 4317, route number 6914, route number 6640. Did you get all that, miss? Okay. The subcontractor will perform all construction duties and utility line relocation for the said projects. Now, therefore be it resolved, the Comanche Business Committee hereby approves the BIA Branch of Transportation and Southern Plains Regional Office to add the above routes to the nation's Department of Transportation Improvement Plan, TIP, and to authorize a submission of the intergovernmental agreements for design and construction of said projects. There it is, CBC. To continue, I do need a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
there's your page on the resolution you're talking about. I don't have no, how much it costs or,
It don't cost us a
Maybe.
dime. This is all government money.
okay, that's what I need to know. That's
Yeah.
all. Somebody
Jimmy,
else's money.
are we good
Okay.
there? All government money. Touchdown. There we go.
Okay. I'll make that motion to approve.
There we go. All right, motion made. Need a second to continue.
I second.
Seconded by CBC
I
Odyssey.
got a question.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead. Mr.
So route number 73.
Let's see, I got 6827, there it is, 7303?
Yeah, I thought you said 7307.
My bad. For the record, it's 7303.
Fix the wrong road.
Is it really? Okay. All right, we do have a motion, need a second to continue, people.
I'll second that motion.
Seconded by CBC Redo. All those in favor of resolution number 2318, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. There you go, Adrian. Yeah, you're gonna be busy. Thank you, sir. All right. Resolution number 2418. Louis, what can you say about this?
I wanted to give an update first on the court building.
Oh, okay.
And why we didn't open on the first as planned.
Sure.
Because we had to wait 2 weeks to follow the correct policy and procedures on getting the HVAC and the electrical in. But those are already in, everything's going up. We're waiting on floors, doors, utilities to go into that building, and then we'll be up and running. So we're working diligently with the contractor, and our guys are working diligently to get this court building open. And we're working with our structural engineer, we're working with our A&E firm, and we're working with the state fire marshal to make sure everything is up to code and everything is ready to go. We'll be
Great.
those doors.
Great, Louis, thank you. This is for fire suppression, and also, is parking lot on here, Jimmy?
No, it's the next.
All right. Thing is, we hold court right here, Children's Court. We're gonna hold court here till we cut the yellow ribbon over there, Oscar. So, here we are, resolution number 2418. The tradition of sovereignty of the Comanche Nation since time immemorial long predates the existence of the nation. The Comanche Nation Court Building located at 584 Northwest Bingo Road, Lawton. The fire suppression system will adhere to Oklahoma State Fire Code, I-1, and will be inspected and approved by the Oklahoma State Fire Marshal. The fire suppression system will safeguard the employees and clients while they are conducting business at the Comanche Nation Court Building. And whereas the CBC is authorized to approve capital improvement funding under current approved CN, Comanche Nation, tribal government, property, and procurement policies and procedures by resolution number 022-16, and be it further resolved that the Comanche Business Committee approves the capital improvement funding for the fire suppression system and authorizes the approval of the contract submitted to the Capital Improvement Department of Advanced Fire Protection in the amount of $135,422 that consists of a 1-year contractor's warranty. So $135K for safety of the court of fire. That's what's on the table. To move forward on this, I do need a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made. I'm seeing here the bid system, 3-bid system, procurement system. And by the way, the auditors say we're such a low-risk type of tribe that business is great. We're doing business by the book. I'm going off subject here, but if we sign off on it, whoever comes in better adhere to it or they're gonna fine them $100,000. That's the truth of it. All right. I need a second to continue. For the record, was there a
I'll
motion
second
made?
it. Yes.
Okay. All right.
I'll
Thank you,
second
Mr.
it.
Poe. All those in favor for this water suppression resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those not in favor, same sign. Eddie, are you voting today? I can't hear you. I think we all yell around at each other. We're all getting old. We're all losing our hearing. People think we're mad at each other. We just can't hear nothing anymore. Wow, Jimmy, there's all kind of bids, huh? All righty. I am looking for the one for the parking lot. There it is. Jimmy, look into your book, our tribal administrator. Resolution number 2518 addresses the parking lot, sir? Okay. We'll move forward to resolution number 2518. The Comanche Business Committee is a duly elected official body designated to conduct business for and on behalf of the nation. And whereas the Comanche Nation Court Building located at 584 Northwest Bingo Road, Lawton, Oklahoma, 73507, the new parking area will adhere to the state-approved building plans. The new parking area will provide handicap accessibility and convenience to clients while they are conducting business at the Comanche Nation Court Building. The Comanche Nation Transportation Department will oversee the construction of the new parking area. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee is authorized to approve capital improvement funding under current approved Comanche Nation tribal government property and procurement policies and procedures by resolution number 022-16. Be it further resolved that the Comanche Business Committee approves of capital improvement funding for the Comanche Nation Court new parking area and authorizes the approval of the contract submitted to the Capital Improvement Department by WW Builders, Inc. in the amount of $113,677 that consists of a 1-year contractor's warranty. Business Committee, I bring forward the plans, the bids, the procurement process, the written circular.
I'll make that motion to approve.
Okay, motion made. For us to continue, I need a second on resolution number 2518.
I second.
Seconded. Business Committee to approve a parking lot for Comanche Nation Court. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Louis, what do you think the start and stop time will be on that one?
They say that once we approve it next week, it'll take 17 days for them to complete.
Okay. And we know where old fiber optics are here. Okay. All right, we're moving forward here. Mr. Red Elk, our CEO of Gaming, our lawyer, we went down to Cotton County. It looks like Cotton County had a prison system there that brought a lot of money into their coffers, and I guess the prison system stopped doing. They just quit. I guess Cotton County's kind of hurt, and Cotton County's sitting there saying, "Well, I think we better go liquor by the drink." And the thing is this: they're going to put it on the ballot, and it comes to this. You know, it's adult beverages. People don't understand this, but Guerrero, they pass what, sir? Senator Guerrero, they pass what? 6-point beer and wine. Well, in Dry County, you can only sell 3.2 beer. The new law of the state says is 6 points. So they can't even sell beer through the whole county. They can't sell nothing. They have to shut everything down. Anyway, it was an interesting meeting. We have 88 employees from our nation right there in that county. You know, we used the vendors there. I gave them an impact statement through our per cap, through the dividend payment. Just this past year, there's a $2 million impact to Cotton County. We got Indian homes, 59 count. 59 count, look at the taxes on that, another 1.1 million. So if they ever say, well, the Comanches don't do nothing, yeah, we do. We're very relevant there. I want to make mention to this because we're getting to the point right now, there came a resolution, and it came 9 years ago, and it was called land acquisition. And our people agreed with it. Our sovereignty is based off our trust lands. Our allotee, where we come from, when you look at the lands, how they start getting fractionated out, that allotee and all of her non-num, all of her relatives that come into these lands. What's really sad, that trust land that has a federal patent all the way down, signed by President McKinley, that will be trust land, sovereign land, almost like France, the nation of France in the middle of Oklahoma. What is so sad is some families will sell to their lease man, or they'll sell it to somebody. And somebody had the vision and the intelligence to say, no, we need to buy our people's trust lands. I hate to say it, it's a big negative, but they use land acquisition money over the past 5 years before this admin got here. Buildings in Lawton, where you're taxed. Lands for, I don't know what reason, overpriced, and they're taxed. We did nothing in the proper provision that the people voted on. The body that was here bought simple fee land, white man land, all taxable. Our nation cannot ever do that again. We can't, unless it's for business. So, we had a carryover amount of money back then of $14 million. Now, I'm being brutally honest with people. People say, you guys are doing this. I'm going to be brutally honest with people. $14 million was absconded, misappropriated, and just spent on anything. When Susan Cawthorn took over the realm as interim chair, there was $55,000 in the bank. How can you do that when you have a $9 million payroll? I make issue of this, not for politics, not to be elected. We just got a duty. It's a term of time. It's not a career. We love our nation. I love my nation with all I got because guess what? That's all I am. That's it. It makes me upset that that happened, but we're going to try to do it right. There's some Comanches that are getting older. They don't want their children to just get it and flip it and give it to a non-Comanche. They're asking our nation, can you buy our land? And we're going to give them a reasonable amount, not $18,000 an acre. I'm sorry I went on that tyrant, but it's got to be said, and nobody says it. Clyde, let's go to resolution number 2618. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee were designed to conduct business for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation. We are a federally recognized Indian tribe with the Constitution approved by the Secretary of the Interior on January 9, 1967. We are to safeguard tribal rights, their powers and privilege, and improve the economic, moral, educational, and health status of its members, the common well-being of the people. Whereas the Comanche Business Committee has made aware that two certain trust properties described as follows: all interest, surface, and minerals in and to a tract located South 2, Northwest 4th of Section 13, Township 2, South Range 11 West, Indian Meridian, Cotton County, Oklahoma. Where is it? Y'all know where Sultan Park is? How many's been to Walter's Powwow? How many toured at Walter's Powwow? No, don't do that, Nolan. Anyway, right there where the creek is, the trust land to the north. 2 sections. Great for alfalfa right now. Good lease, good crops. That's where it is. 13.40 acres are described as beginning of the southwest corner. And then it goes on altogether. The tract is called the original allotment of Makin Abiti, Comanche Tract 1076. And all interest, surface and minerals in and to North 2, Northwest 4 of Section 13, Township 2, Southwest, Range 11 West, Indian Meridian, Cotton County, Oklahoma, containing 80 acres. So what you are looking at is 80 plus 66.60 acres. This is all assumed as one. It's not fractionated. It's what's owned as trust land. And this original allotment of Makin Abiti, Comanche Tract 1076B. Whereas the Comanche Nation considered this opportunity to acquire land at a fair market value to expand the Comanche Nation land base for future use and to preserve Comanche allotments. Now therefore be it resolved, the Comanche Business Committee hereby authorizes the Comanche Nation Chairman, Mr. Nelson, to pursue acquisition of the surface and minerals of both tracts, Comanche Tract 1076, Comanche Tract 1076B, and the Makin Abiti allotment at a fair market price. Mr. Baker, are you here? Yes. We went over this and we looked at the numeration, and it seems like her lease man was wanting to give her a bid, real cheap bid. So we went a little over that. Bottom line, Business Committee, we've gone over the finances of this. Up for grabs is 804 acres that we're going to go through of trust land, 804 acres. We went through the finances of it. We will have left in our coffers $900,000 from 1.5 for 804 acres. I think we did our due diligence. So on this one, resolution number 2618, to continue, to approve. I do need a motion to continue.
Mr. Chairman, I have a question.
Sure.
You said this is located just north of the Sultan Park.
Yeah.
Is it in a floodplain area?
The entire park's in the floodplain. Every bit of it, yeah. One thing about this property is the alfalfa is always green, so it's always getting cut. A lot of water, so.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Okay, motion made by Mr. Ridout to continue. I do need a second.
I think we need to table it till the other people are here.
They
All
were at,
these land acquisitions, we should table it till the Secretary of Treasury's here and the Vice Chair is here.
think that'll make a difference.
I don't know, it just gives everybody a full CBC.
They've been briefed on this. Everybody came to that meeting of Realty.
I know we heard it, but we didn't vote on it.
Well, that's what we do here, sir.
Well, we're not all here.
Well, we got a motion. If we don't get a second, guess we could table it.
I'll second it.
Okay, seconded by Mr. Poe. All those in favor of resolution number 2718, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right.
All those not in favor, please.
No.
No.
2 noes. Comes to me for the tie, I say aye. Resolution number 2718 does pass. There we go, 2718 passed. We're going to resolution number 2818. This is authorizing the purchase of a 120-acre tract in the section of Southeast Quarter, Section 17T2S, R15W, 1, Indian Meridian, Tillman County, Oklahoma. Reference as the Robert Adovich allotment, Comanche Tract number 3445. The Comanche Nation of Oklahoma is a federally recognized Indian tribe with the Constitution approved for the Secretary of the Interior on January 9, 1967, to safeguard tribal rights, powers, and privileges to improve the economic, moral, educational, and health status of its members. The Comanche Business Committee has been aware of the trust property described as follows. All one-with interest surface and minerals in and to the southwest quarter, southeast quarter, and north half, southeast quarter of Section 17, Township 02 South, Range 15 West, Indian Meridian, Tillman County, Oklahoma, containing 120 acres more or less. Part of the original allotment of Mr. Robert Adovich, Comanche, Tract 3445. And whereas the Comanche Nation considers the opportunity to acquire land at a fair market value to expand the Comanche Nation land base for future use, and whereas the Comanche Business Committee did consider the terms of negotiations for the surface and minerals, and determined the acquisition of this tract should be in the best interest of the Comanche Nation, and now therefore be it resolved that the Comanche Business Committee hereby authorizes the Comanche Nation Chairman, Mr. Nelson, to pursue the acquisition of the surface and minerals of the Robert Adovich allotment Comanche Tract 3445 at a fair market price. Mr. Baker, I remember we had a really good meeting on all these lands that are coming up. Where exactly is this one?
Okay, Robert Adovich is just east of Frederick, Oklahoma. Just east.
And I believe his lease man's trying to buy the heirs' lands, right?
Yes. And he did make it off.
Okay, all right. Business Committee, resolution number 2818 is before you. To move on this, I need a motion.
I'll make that motion, Mr. Chairman.
Motion made by Mr. Riddell. I do need a second to continue.
Second it.
Seconded by Mr. Poe. All those in favor of resolution number 2818, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
No.
No.
We got 2 ayes, 2 noes. That's what land acquisition money's for, guys, to buy back our reservation, so people's lands don't go to white people. Bottom line, it's that simple. I vote yes. Resolution number 2818 does pass.
Yeah, but we're buying land we can't use.
The
You
thing
know,
is this,
half of this is under flood.
it's sovereignty.
Flood.
It's your
So
sovereignty.
you buy something you can't use.
Well, you get lease money, we've got a farming operation we're gonna bring forward. It just makes sense.
But what would we be using it for, may I ask? If
Um,
men buy?
Right now, it comes to this, Miss Parker?
Yes.
Okay. It comes to, do we allow a trust property with the federal patent signed by President McKinley? We just let it go away? Do we just let it go away?
That's still what, why are we not buying? What's the point of buying the land for, like, to build something?
To be honest with you, in those places, see, that's why it was always debated up here. And that's why they use that resolution of land acquisition, which was only for trust land. They misused it and bought simple fee, which is white man land, taxable lands, and we can never use, and they overpaid for it. All we're doing is trying to keep it in trust. We do have a actual, what is the group, Mr. Riddell, that's bringing the agriculture grant?
Noble Foundation.
The Noble Foundation has $1 million. And the thing is, with that $1 million, do we want to do a farming operation? I tell you, corporate farming right now, if you go to your lease man right now and you got maybe, I don't know, 80 acres of your share, first off, they're going to give you the same amount of lease you had 15 years ago. And then they're going to say, oh, the crop was bad. Oh, it was a bad time. But they live in $1 million house and they got about $20 million worth of farming implementation around. This, if we go to the Noble Foundation, which is very viable to do, We run it through our charter, and we start doing corporate farming. Remember the little dividend check you got? We need to have more dividend checks. Why? We've always operated on gaming, correct? Gaming? We get taxed on gaming. Have we doubled, tripled down that gaming money? No. Are we tasked to do the common well-being of all the Comanches? Yes. Can a government run a business? No. It's been proven. Can the charter? Yes. Can we run this $1 million through the charter? You betcha. Can we get our Comanche people working? I don't think there's very many Comanches left that know how to farm, but there are some. And it's a great trade. By golly, we got a lot of land. You're shaking your head no. You don't believe that? Take your glasses off.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, sir.
may I say a word?
Sure.
I'm going to move forward on land purchases whenever they become available. Yes, economically, but more for the sovereignty of our nation. Sovereign nations do need a land base. And we're taking back, as a nation of people, that land base. If we don't do it, the Thivols will get it. And that shrinks our land base. Number two, there's two things that identify us. Our land base, our language, is the second thing. So whenever a tract comes available and I'm sitting up here in this capacity, I'm going to move on buying as long as we have funding for it. And our people said, buy land. So consequently, I have a mandate to do that. No matter if it's a floodplain or if it's sitting out there in the big pasture area or wherever. It's Comanche land, and I want it to remain Comanche land. Thank you.
Or may I ask why we sold the dog property that was Comanche land?
It's fee
For a
land.
loss.
I can't speak to that. I wasn't here, sir. Go right ahead, Gabby.
I recommend that we do a land committee, either by CBC
I agree.
resolution or
I
in the
agree.
Constitution.
I agree.
That way, the CBC can't spend, have the time to do all the work that's required to purchase land and evaluate it, and then, but that's what we need.
You know what,
In
Gabby?
order to
Yeah, you're right.
oversee the
Yeah.
land department,
Yeah.
make sure we have they work.
Right.
And also, the trust land is real valuable. It's got
Very valuable.
water rights.
Very,
And
very
you can
valuable.
irrigate, farming,
Right.
orchards, but if it's, goes out of trust, well, it disappears. That
It's gone.
winter's doctrine of water rights. It disappears if it goes out of trust.
Very good point. You know, Gabby, right there in the Realty Department, right there in our Tax Commission, we got a very, very bright Comanche young man that's finding all the oil and gas leases that haven't been renewed for our nation for years.
A lot of them are by creeks too, just irrigate.
And the thing is, not only are you talking about a land committee, I think it all needs to be encompassed in one. You don't need a bunch of 7, you need maybe 3 for natural resources, oil and gas and land. And come and formulate as that team. There's so many water rights that we're not even following, or we're just not even following them. And the state of Oklahoma keeps tribes out. Sure, they want to. Oscar, you had a question.
I don't have a question, I just want to make a statement. I appreciate Mr. Riddell's attitude toward keeping Comanche allotments Comanche. Too many times, we as individual allotee owners pass those on, and they leave trust status. Or when we buy land that's not trust and we try to put it in trust, it takes too long. So to catch those purchases and they remain in trust and they just transfer to us as a nation, I applaud that and I appreciate it, because that base is gonna do nothing but build us economic and political power. And I appreciate your attitude and the willingness to go ahead and make a deal with that landowner so he doesn't have to wait for a committee or wait for a commission. This body takes care of it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Garapani. You know, the thing is, what's sad, you know, Ms. Parker, you brought this up. What are you gonna do it for? Well, our people are getting robbed. You have to see the prices these lease guys are wanting to buy this land is atrocious. You know, if we can give them $10 more an acre, by God, we'll give them $10 more an acre. You know, it's just sad. Anyway, we do have, back to the record, we do have a motion to continue, right? And we did have a second.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
just one quick statement.
Sure.
Now, we buy this land for, say, $750,000.
We don't. It's not.
It's not gonna be that much?
No. As a matter of fact, I'll give you a full history of this. That's why I brought this computer, and it's good for our people to understand this, for sure. You know, disclosure is only 50-50. People are down on what they're not up on. If I was to show you exactly how much money was spent on white man land, would that get you over this hump?
No, I'd just like to know how much,
Okay.
how much are we planning on paying for this land that we're bringing up now?
$17 million is what was spent on white man land over a decade. $17 million. Is that good? No, that's not good at all. Where's our benefit in that, other than paying taxes? So I made a template for realty in our meeting.
I asked how much we paid for the land down in Terrell for the casino.
How much,
We paid for the land in Terrell that you're building the casino on?
you mean the Chickasaws?
No, you.
Not me.
Or you had a double wide down there trying to open up a casino.
We're actually got a great Comanche family, sir. A
just
great
asked how
Comanche
much you
family.
paid for
Well,
the
hold
land.
on, we didn't pay nothing. It's a lease, 5-acre
Lease?
lease. See, you're down on what you're not up on, sir.
Bring it forward to the
Well,
people.
there you go. Golly, you know, we don't even have approval, not from NIGC yet. You know, we're moving forward. We got a fight, and we're one step away from the Supreme Court on this thing.
I'm just asking a question,
It
sir.
sounds like it's
That's all I'm-
anti-Comanche. I'm sorry. Sounds very anti-Comanche. You know, we're here to help our
Who doesn't
nation.
profit, sir? Who doesn't profit? It profits the white man. They don't provide jobs for the Native American down there. There is no Comanches down there that will be employed.
Well, I know there's a Lorazana family. At least they'll be, you know, benefactors of the lease.
The tax base is the one that profits off of that, not the Comanches. We won't see no return on that. for
Sir, it seems like I got
long.
major complaints. File your complaints at the court, okay? There you go.
Mr. Byrne, I asked, where can I file this complaint for drastic abuse of power? Can I come to your office Monday and file a complaint? That's not trust property.
That's what we are until they open the courthouse.
It's not trust property.
All right. $1.1 million was spent on that blue building. The Keith Yacchione building, $790,000.
Was that funds that Mr. Darterberry was sitting on for $2 million?
The
Cell tower money?
living is, sir, we'll have decorum here. If you're not on the agenda, sir, please.
I disagree, sir. Mr. Odyssey told me last month that I did not have to be on the agenda to speak.
The Living Assisted Center, $3.3 million. This land I'm speaking about right here is $1,000 an acre, 120,000.
So it'll be 120,000. That's what we're
Every
looking at.
one of these are probably 1,000 to 1,400 an acre, sir.
But this, what we're passing today is, we're not buying it. We're just looking into buying it, right? That's what
We
this-
still have an option. If you guys want to table all this stuff and it just takes all day long to go over this, guys, you got to understand what buying land is.
Well, I think something like this that costs a lot of money and everything, I think all of us should be able to have input into it.
3.3 million for the Living Assistance Center of 8 acres?
Well,
That's
we're not
not a lot.
talking about that, we're talking about this.
$3.5 million for the Harris Hooper.
And
land.
also, I believe any one of y'all can ask us anything you want to. If we can't we should answer it if we, thank you, sir.
All right.
I mean, we represent you. You're the one voted for us. I don't, maybe you didn't vote for me, I don't know. But I still think you got a right to say whatever you want.
It's not
At
an
this
abuse
meeting
of
and
power,
any other
sir.
meeting.
It's just a matter, you got many complaints.
No, you have prevented me from speaking for months,
How did
sir.
I prevent you from speaking,
Did you not
sir?
tell Julia that you were not having an executive session so that I would not attend?
I have to ask the quorum. I have never
said it
acted
came
on my
from you.
own. Sir, everything I've done since my tenure on this seat
I
is by the
disagree, sir.
legal quorum. Unless you got documented proof, you're nothing but innuendo. So take your documented proof over there and file a complaint.
The court is not on trust land. You have an office downtown.
Sir, the court is on trust land being built. As soon as it's built, we're having court right here. Right here is trust land.
With an attorney that you bought and paid for.
What attorney?
Prosecutor. I'm the court clerk. Court clerk.
He's just a court clerk. Good grief. All right. Sounds like you got major complaints, sir. So
Yes,
you're
I
not
do.
on the agenda. If you're here just to disestablish the quorum, sir, I don't get it. I don't get it.
Obviously said that we have the right to speak.
Aren't we- can't we
Sure,
ask
but we have an
questions?
agenda. Can we please go back to our agenda? Right now, we have resolution number 2918. And we have a motion, and we have a second. This is going to be detailed out.
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
did we do 2818?
Can you go back to
We
reference
did
on that?
28, but I don't know about 27.
27 we did pass. Since numerous discussions are happening on this, I'm going to ask that we do table the rest of this on these lands so people can study up on it, know about it. I mean, we had meetings with these people 3 times. So if y'all need more study time, I don't want to sit here and parlay this, make it, I'm glad we have a split table. That's great. Y'all don't want it? We're following the land acquisition resolution. So if y'all need the other people here, I'll be more than happy to table the rest of the land and tell these Comanche people that want to sell their property to their nation that we need more study time. Is that what you guys are wanting?
I just think all of us should have an input.
Well, one's at a funeral and one's at a sick. Next meeting, we might have 2 people sick. I don't know.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
tabling it will not affect our ability to buy the property.
I get it.
At a later date.
I
Is
get
that
it.
right?
Yes.
Well, I move that we table this since we're at a disagreement.
Yeah. The debate, guys, is just business. It shouldn't be here parlayed as political. So, the motion is to table the rest of trust-to-trust allotments for sale. I need a second to continue.
I'll second it.
Seconded by Mr. Odyssey. All those in favor to table the next 3 resolution, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, same sign. All right.
Aye.
Thank you, Mr. Poway. For the record, make it so 3, 1, and 1 abstention. Resolution number 3018. Resolution number 3018 comes to us of the Tribal Court Codes. The Comanche Nation sees the critical need to ensure unbiased and ethical application of its court codes, and the Comanche Business Committee previously established a Comanche Nation Tribal Court team to complete a process of establishing the Comanche Nation Tribal Court and court codes. Whereas it is necessary to recognize the Comanche Nation Tribal Court team to exclude the tribal court clerk administrator to avoid potential conflicts of interest among court personnel. And now be it resolved, the Comanche Business Committee does hereby approve and authorize to be effective on February 3rd, 2018, the attached amendments to Title I Comanche Nation Tribal Courts, and be it further resolved that the Comanche Business Committee, acting for and on behalf of the Comanche Nation, does hereby authorize this resolution for such intent. Business Committee, the big, huge book of our codes is in question here to bring it forward for the court. We passed this already. Jimmy, what is this affirming?
Well, actually, the board administrator is going to speak to this, but really, we're trying to remove in the initial development of the core team, the court clerk was very relevant, but now that we've sworn in judges, then we feel like there's a conflict there, or a potential conflict, and so the court administrator came forward and wants to speak to that.
Mr. Ellis, go right ahead.
I'm a full-time employee of the tribe, and the judges who are selected do not answer to the tribe. So I answer to the tribe and to the court, which is the judges. So if I'm on the court team which is the panel that selects the judges, then I could potentially influence their decisions, being that liaison between the court and the tribe. So I think it's best for the unbiased nature of my office as court clerk to step back so I do not have any appearance of impropriety. I wouldn't, but it's just so that now that we're established, I don't need to be part of that decision, because now the judges can speak on behalf of the court instead of me.
Yeah, since it's swearing in, you're correct. There you go. Resolution number 3018 is on this table for a motion.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes.
anything to get this court back, get it going good. We need them. We'll need these codes, so I'll make a motion to approve Resolution 30-18.
Motion made. I do need a second.
So may I ask a question?
Go right ahead. Go ahead, Mr.
Where
Raymond.
could a tribal member pick up the codes, criminal codes?
I believe we're going to set up a kiosk once it comes.
So they're not available at this moment?
Not until we actually get the caseload there.
I thought you got the caseload from CFR courts last week.
Matter of fact, we did pass all the codes.
You passed the
By our Constitution, please read your Bill of Rights, sir.
I have, sir. I have
Okay,
them with me.
okay, read it about federal. Read it, please.
Section 5
And-
of the Bill of Rights says that I'm not a right, I shouldn't be denied my rights
Okay.
to petition the
Can
court.
you speak to that, Mr.
We
Ellis?
have a copy of the official codes in my office. We charge a copying fee if you want a paper copy. If you want, if you bring a thumb drive, I could get the electronic copy to you at no charge.
Thing is this, Mr. Ramos, is about that thick, so, pick and choose what you want, go through the glossary, what you want, yeah. All right. Here we go. Question asked, so the motion's here. In a second.
Second it.
Second by Mr. Poway. Resolution number 3018. Business Committee, to accept resolution number 3018, please signify by saying aye. Aye. Those opposed, same sign. Thank you, Mr. Ellis, for your explanation on that.
I have a question about those codes.
Yeah.
Could we put them on our webpage?
I would like to. They're not there yet, but I would like to.
Go ahead, Ms. Nagel.
And Jimmy, can we put the Constitution on it?
Yes, they took it off.
About that PDF version?
It was our Constitution. It's taken off.
Mr. Chairman.
Let's see if we can put it back on again, because
We have some
everybody,
decorum here,
have
sir. You got
access
a
to it.
direct question to who? Who do you have a direct question to? The TA?
yeah.
TA, could you answer that? Ms. Nagel will go right to you.
Well, I'm going to defer to Ms. Nagel because they're the grants the ones that wrote the special jurisdiction grant that was approved. So, she spoke to that before about we're one of 20 tribes in the nation that have that. So I'm going to defer to her to explain to Mr. Augustine.
Okay, Ms. Blair.
Mr. Odyssey, to answer your question, and for anyone in the audience who has that same question, under one of the two grants that we won for the court, as the codes were written, we have aligned ourselves already to assume that special jurisdiction, which will grant the nation the right to adjudicate non-natives in our court for specific crimes. And so in aligning ourselves with special jurisdiction, with VAWA, with those specific federal acts, we have to make those codes available to non-natives as well, who reside within our tribal jurisdiction, who may work within our tribal jurisdiction, who may be subject to our laws and prosecution within our court. So to answer your question, Mr. Odyssey, right now, it's just a matter of us deciding what the best way to make those available for the people. They are going to be online. They have to be made public under those federal regulations. Like Mr. Ardberry said, the Comanche Nation is now going to be one of, right now there's currently 18 tribes in the United States who have this special jurisdiction. I'm very, very proud to say our nation is going to be one of them as well. And in doing so, we have to meet those federal requirements and making those.
So your answer is yes, they will be put on our
Yes.
website? Okay. Same way with our Constitution?
Yes.
Good.
Constitution has stood for 51 years. It ain't changed but one secretarial election. All right. We're going to have to table resolution number 3118 unless Mr. Grellner found something out from the city manager and the city attorney. Okay. We got a 100-year lease. We've been in there 6 years, 94 or more years on the lease. And they can sell items over there at the Great Plains Museum, but we're not going to be able to sell items. So until then, business committee, I need someone to bring a motion forward to table resolution number 3118 until we get discovery about what the city attorney is thinking about.
Well, can we just move it over there?
I don't want to be in no trouble.
Well, how you know we're gonna get in trouble? They might not say anything.
Well, sir, you just heard it.
That's what I'm talking about.
Which they most likely.
It's their building.
will do.
We're in a 100-year lease. Kinda got our hands tied
But
there.
there's other organizations on that same property that's taxing,
That's the whole question. It's a lawyer's
Right.
game on this, sir.
right, Mr. Grounder?
What I understand.
So why can't we?
That's why lawyers,
Towards being
they got a lawyer, we got a lawyer.
We should be able
Let them figure it
to
out.
do it regardless because we're a sovereign nation.
Be determined whether or not we have jurisdiction.
All right, all right.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we table this
Okay.
3118.
Motion made to table. Need a second to continue that.
I second.
Okay, thank you, Eddie. All those in favor to table resolution number 3118, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. All right. Well, everybody in our nation, some did, some didn't. All the programs came in the black at the end of our fiscal year, except one. So, services to our people vote for program monies for 77 programs each and every year. We got some carryover money to go to these programs, to go back to them. Why? The people voted on it. So, I'm going to mention the programs. Is there anything I need to omit on this, Mr. TA? Is there one to omit? Okay.
I have a question.
Hold on, ma'am. Let me go to this, please. This is business. Resolution number 3218, department name, PIO. They had a carryover amount of $23,638. IT department had a carryover of $48,725. Transportation department had a carryover of $101,914. Adrian, you still here? That's the type of money we can use to help out the Indian Hospital for all that parking on the north side. You know, that'd be helpful. Enrollment Had a carryover of $45,830. There you go, Amber, maybe some filing cabinets, fireproof items. Optometry has a carryover of $11,013. The CHR department has a carryover of $1,469. Well, make that 469 rounded, it'd be 470, 1,470. Anadarko Outreach Office, is Mr. Wells here? He did a really good job. $1,815. Family violence. One thing about Miss Betty's program, she's one director that will go find a grant. And she's found maybe 6 or 7 grants. So I wish more departments would do that, use other people's money. But family violence has a carryover of $95,285. Funeral home, burial assistance, they do have a carryover, not much, but it's $860. The caregiver program, they have a they have a carryover of $82,464. That would come in handy to help out with more services, not a matter of getting more employees, but more service to the folks they're going to. The Outreach Center in Dallas, we're very good stewards over their money, and they have a carryover of $3,918. The Community Center of Apache had a carryover of $249. Cache, Oklahoma, Community Center, carryover of $11,103. Right now, there's major renovations being done at the Kahoma building. They're going to have a brand-new parking lot that we signed off on. Is it this week, Jimmy? They're going to do the parking lot?
They've already started it.
Okay, they're there today. Walters, Oklahoma, Community Center, $1,558. Injury prevention. Bo does a great job for us. He's out there. She is more or less the advocate for those that are shut in. Bo is a great advocate, and she knows what's needed in many places. Injury prevention has a carryover, $61,931. The fitness center, I believe they need to get back to some kind of diabetes eradication, and big fat guys like me need to get over there. It's kind of shameful. Anyway, fitness center, carryover of $73,636. Oklahoma City Outreach Center, $7,820. EPA, $44,009. Child Support Enforcement, $36,442. $44,009.
$9 or
$9, yeah, $9. HIP program, $41,808. This is good here. There's a lot of our folks that come out of state, they don't know about this program. Only locals kind of know about this program, and that's bereavement assistance. Carryover, $168,600. Grandparents raising grandchildren, carryover at $2,445. ICW Family Services, $39,560. Early Childhood Development Center, Carolyn, you still there? $56,615. I think you guys can utilize something for service. Youth Program, $54,770. Elders Council, where's the Elders Council? Raise your hand. Yay. Got a carryover, $1,839. Reintegration Program, $37,117. The NAGPRA Office, Native American Graves Repatriation Office, $13,478. Prevention and Recovery, $124,122. Child Care Subsistence Program, $40,865. This is amazing. I almost fell over when I seen this. Law Enforcement, $51,907. Good job, Vern. Private Drives, $15,115. Crisis Management, weather. Thank God we didn't have no ice storms or tornadoes this last season. there's a carryover of $62,810. Comanche Nation Fair, they made money. By golly, they got a carryover for this year to start up, $4,903. Shoshone Reunion, I believe that was tabled due to the people did not vote on it. Is there a reason that's here?
Because that's last year's budget we're currently with.
Right.
This
Okay.
last fiscal year.
Okay. TIPO, Tribal Historical Preservation, $14,722. The Comanche Tombstone Project, $17,300. Is there anybody here who has a relative that does not have a tombstone? Please go by and see, is it Carmelita? Go see Carmelita. On things like this, see, they're gonna have some carryover. They can come to us and say, hey, you know, you got these rules. Can we help this right here? You know, something better for our folks, so. Comanche Nation National Museum. Here's a big carryover. $199,144. Total of the carryover comes to $1,610,105, rounded. Here we are, Business Committee, resolution number 3218. Whereas there were dollar balances at the end of fiscal year 2017, which ended the last day of September in 2017, in gaming finance programs projects. Now therefore be it resolved that at the end of fiscal year 2017, gaming funded balances will be carried over to fiscal year 2018, and the portions of such balances be expended as agreed upon with program project director managers during fiscal year 2018 budget hearings. The following list of programs will have these balances carried over as finalized accounting by Finley and Cook. Yay for your programs, you get this extra money. Now we just have to pass it. Business Committee.
Sorry, may I ask a question?
Sure.
Prevention recovery was budgeted over $400,000 to open a treatment center that is still yet to open. They were budgeted for this year $590,000. Why is this director still continuing not to open up this treatment center, sir? And you're going to give her another $100,000, so she's going to have over almost $1.5 million worth of funding for that program. And she continues to keep on terminating people.
What's your question? The termination part or the other part?
I just want to know why, you know, the people have voted for a residential treatment center.
Did they?
Yes. It's been on the budget for 2 years now. And we budgeted almost $1 million just for the treatment center.
The tribal council voted for us to do all that?
Yes. It's on the budget. Prevention recovery, treatment center.
Okay, your answer, your questions to him, so
Yeah,
Mr.
so-
J.
So what he's talking about, what you're talking about here is from last year, so we're in the second year of that. Actually, it's like they're in the process right now of opening that because we had to move new pathways.
Right.
So that's part of the whole redesign over there. So all of this money really represents just gaming. So a lot of these programs got grants that the money was expended there first. But this is the first year ever that we are giving these programs the money back to continue to support the tribal membership and address their issues, serve the nation, where in the past all that's happened is it's been absconded and spent. So this is a very positive thing, even though some would see it as, you know, a negative. So it's the first time ever that this has happened. So these programs here will tell you they are thrilled because usually their money just goes away and never see it. And now, this committee is giving the money back that was voted on by the entire nation for service to the people, and that's exactly what they're doing.
I don't have a problem with that, sir. My problem is being a good steward of program funds.
Sir, once again, sounds like you got a complaint. He said, she said, take it to the court.
Sir, you know this, we've talked on this numerous times. Was it because this man is using his powers too?
That's an accusation, sir. Take it to the
No,
court.
it's proof. I have written proof.
All right, innuendo, sir. We'll have decorum. One more outburst. Come on, Ramos. Give me a break. Come on.
Total disrespect.
What?
Total disrespect.
That's another, your own personal feeling, sir. Go ahead.
I have a question for, I guess it's Jimmy. you said about what you said on that building over there. So why is it that EPA, which is that not Louis EPA, or is that another different? CIP. CIP was not put on here on this list, Nelson, because I don't remember writing CPA. So CPA was under
Programs that
budget.
didn't have any carryover aren't on that list.
They didn't have any carryover.
That's right, only programs that carry over.
So what we're voting on right now is what to do with this money?
No, it's going right back to the programs. For them to, like, the common well-being of our people, to utilize those services, yeah.
Hopefully, since we got our webpage going, people will see more programs we have to offer and use some of the carryover money.
Yeah.
That's what we're hoping on.
Where it's not for, you know, when you hire more people, you know, right now, if you really put I hate this number. I seen this number as a TA and it's still kind of there. You got 17,000 Comanches from birth to affinity. Do all of them use our nation? No. How many use our nation? 16%. Okay, the only benefit to our folks out there is a possible dividend, a possible per capita. So, anyway, all right. I do have a motion. Sure, go right ahead, sir.
I'm kind of confused here, and I just want to get some clarification here. I was an employee of the tribe for almost 10 years, and I was let go. I received a paper saying that I was being released due to budget constraints. And this was from capital improvements. Budget constraints, what's that mean? That they had to do a reduction of force because there wasn't monies to support all the employees that were being employed there, which, from my understanding, how it goes, when these directors do their budgets for their program, they budget the employee salaries and benefit costs and all that, correct? Is that correct, Mr. Arbery? Okay. So, I don't understand how I was released under that rules of there was a budget constraint and there had to be a reduction in force. I heard that, there was a reduction of money, but there was a budget constraint because there was an unexpected expenditure of having to pay for the prevention and recovery building. But I'm just hearing that, well, it has $400,000 and another how many $100,000 and all that, you know, and it's still not done. So you explain to me, you know, what happened. You know, is that, so if that capital improvement, that means that it was in the red. And so somebody's not doing their job then, because no program is supposed to be in the red. You know, you're supposed to be overseeing it. It shouldn't get there to that point. Am I correct? So, can somebody explain that? How did it get to where it had to be chosen?
Well,
But yet, the tribe is pro-Comanche. But yet, there was other other tribes with less tenure allowed to stay.
Mr. Parker, I could answer, not the personnel issue, but I can answer the part on CIP. I believe they broke even last year because they're not on this list of carryover. I can't speak to your personnel issue.
Okay, the budget, how did it get so deficit to the point where it required a reduction of force? You guys are tasked, and as well as the administrator, to prevent such happenings, correct? Correct?
I don't know, it was overspent 14 million just 3 years ago.
No, stay away from that. We're talking about this situation here. Stay away from that. That's the past.
Oh, really?
So, So, you got, that's what y'all campaigned on and everything, so again, that's the same scenario
I
as
think
what
we
y'all
achieved
campaigned
that.
against, has occurred.
I get you, Mr. Parker. Now, speaking to the personnel issues, sir,
It's not.
like I've been telling Mr.
I'm
Ramos.
talking about the budget, how did it get to that point? The directors are tasked with making sure it doesn't get to the point. The tribal administrator is tasked with that, and you guys are his boss. Because you said earlier, we are to protect and oversee the well-being of the nation, its peoples, its entities, its monies. Somebody dropped the ball, or somebody's.
We only had one program in the red, sir.
It don't matter,
Which
it's
one?
still 1 or 277.
I don't get your line
Somebody
of
dropped the
questioning.
ball.
We're trying to get 1.6 million back to the programs that the people voted on, okay? I mentioned all the programs. We're gonna move forward on this resolution if I could.
That's children's court. The budget for the children's court has always been it's always been good. We've always had money. You never even mentioned children's court at all. Somehow or another, y'all trying to forget about children's court.
Oh, no, it's very relevant. We have a Comanche Nation court.
I said children's court, I just see that, that's
All
another thing.
cases of
That's
the
another
court
thing,
are
this
there.
was in the back.
Would you like
then.
to go into executive session, ma'am, on this?
I will.
We spoke
I will, but I'm talking about
about
what
this.
you're talking about, the budget. Right now, this is I'm wondering why y'all didn't have that on there, because that was still in
TA
process at that
I
time.
think the TA can answer this.
Right,
Ms. Rita.
actually it is, it's on the resolution you guys passed last month, if you recall.
Oh, yeah.
It's a list of programs that already had their money moved forward. But this list of programs is after the reconciliation with Finley and Cook to see what the actual dollar amount was. So that's what these are. So now it's kind of in closing that whole discussion about the carryover. Because some of those had outstanding receipts that were being turned in, so they were still reconciling that for the final report. So those programs, like the one that Ms. Coogan was talking about, was already on the former resolution for carryover, because we had that, they were reconciled.
Okay, that was a meeting I missed, due to my wife's illness. I apologize, ma'am. They did good.
So what was the carryover in the children's?
Let's look to the minutes. We got a question there. Somebody help me out there. So the minutes of the last meeting, what was the carryover? Mr. Ellis, do you know what the carryover was? Or- Can I get it to you later on?
Just a copy of the resolution on Monday, and it will have that in it.
So you don't know?
Was.
Well, it's a month ago.
I wasn't at the meeting last month, ma'am. I wasn't.
What was it?
Mr. Chairman,
Yeah.
can we move on 3218?
No,
Yes.
you didn't answer my question.
I do want to answer a question.
Should they be in the minutes?
That's
Yeah.
what he's looking at.
I bet you can get it through, Jim. I want to be exact on that number I'll be exact on that number, Miss Rita.
I just have a question.
Go right ahead, Mr. Addison.
You gentlemen there that was let go and whatever, did y'all ever file a complaint with HR?
In the.
I mean, follow the
letter,
policy and
in
procedure?
the letter, it said there was no room for filing an appeal, nothing. It was just a done
Hey,
deal.
Julia.
No,
There was
I
no
don't think
recourse
so.
for me to.
Jimmy, how does that work?
What is that?
If they file a complaint of determination and they file it with HR, what's the policy or procedure on that?
To follow with HR.
Again, I make the statement that on the paper, and I can bring you a copy, Mr. Odyssey, to prove it. There was no, it's stated in there was no room, no course, no way, nothing I can do, nothing. not bring it to y'all, not bring it to HR, not, that was it. And that's how it's been, not just in my situation, but as far as I know at least one more, Ms. McCurtain and others, the same thing. They put that in there. There's no recourse, no nothing. You're just done, period.
I brought mine before you guys, and y'all still upheld it because you said he's the boss. You're his boss.
Well, we have policy and procedures for that, that's what I would,
Yeah, but
but
we had a general counsel.
and see if they follow it, that's all I'm concerned about.
But have y'all
Just
seen the
It's
stick-
picking and choosing, it's picking and choosing who he wants to, and I'm saying him, who he wants to keep and let go. Use whatever, I mean, I can bring you timelines and evidence and let you be the judge and see, hey, yeah, there's something going on here.
So I have a question, Odyssey. So you're asking a question that you don't know anything about, the policy and procedures?
I don't know every.
And why is that, may I ask
Because
any
we
of you?
don't hire and fire.
I know,
We
that's
don't
the
hire
question,
and
right,
fire.
right.
We don't hire and
Town
fire.
administrator
And the
doesn't
TA
hire
don't
and fire.
either.
Yeah,
The
well, that's
director
You don't
responsible
hire
for
and
that.
fire, so why we have a HR? Isn't our HR supposed to
Exactly.
hire and fire? So why is
Actually,
it
you have an
TAs that do-
application process, and, they try to get the best candidate, and they got some pretty good regulations to get that candidate. They
The
do.
only one can hire and fire you is your department head, your director.
Exactly.
Okay, is that
That's
the
an
letter-
unspoken,
the
that's
letter
an
you're talking
unspoken
about?
word.
Is that the letter you're talking about? From your director?
It's the unspoken word, sir, and I'm sure in your lifetime, you know about situations through the unspoken, like the good old boy system, hey, you don't do this, that, and everything. These things occur, and that's what's occurring and has been occurring. So the directors are put in a position where they have to follow an unspoken directive. Yeah, it's just an accusation and everything, but you can look at my annual evaluations. I've never received any kind of negatives and everything. I had one situation where a corrective action had to be taken, and that action was corrected, and never again, in my whole 10 years that I was here. Then all of a sudden, boom. What gets me is, y'all sit here and say, numana, Comanches first, but yet I was the first one to go when other non-Comanches who just came on and have less tenure, they're still here.
And you would let go for over budget?
Yes,
Or
sir.
under budget or whatever?
Due to budget constraints, that's what it said.
Is that the only program that was restrained?
As far as I know, yes, that was the only one that I know of. Others were due to, well, we're gonna, change the management around. We're gonna get rid of one person that, through the history of this department, was handling different departments, to hire 3 or 4 more to do that one person's job that they were doing all these years, capable.
Okay, let me just say that. The reason we wanted this court was to get away from this. So if anything happens and you go to HR and you don't get no satisfaction, you follow it in the court. That's completely different. They're gonna look at the law, and they're gonna look at the Constitution we have and our policy and procedures, and did they follow that? That's what the court's gonna look at. That's the only thing I can tell you, because we can't make the decision. We're not the hire and fire. We're here to make policy and procedures, that's about it. But the program, we have to run it through our department head and the TA, and if there's anything, even us, you can take over there to the court.
Well, that, I'm glad you said that, because I am going to be taking a
And we're completely
situation.
out of it. The court takes over from then. They're gonna look at the policy and procedures. Was it followed, yes or no?
That and one other.
That's why we wanted this court, to settle these differences that we hear all the time.
Mr. Parker, I'm so glad we have the court, that you can have a process. Because here, you know, we're limited, we don't hire, we don't fire, you know, we're supposed to be 7 bosses, you know.
Right, I understand that, but it kind of befuddles me that we have a constitution which you just quoted from that says, well, we are to oversee the well-being,
Yes.
and it's not being done. So
There's
it's not going to be making secretarial elections to amend the constitutions, this and that and everything. Take that out, because y'all not doing it.
Well, it comes to this, some people have some investigations going on, you know? Can we sit there and disclose that? I mean, grand juries, can I sit there and just tell their whole case so I can support their defense? Oh, no. You know, it's true. We got one person here today under investigation, and I don't know why people want to be public when they know something's awry, but, you know.
Nothing to hide, sir. You tell everybody else I'm under investigation.
Well, sir, since you brought it up, Mr.
I've asked for
Vernon
documentation
Griffin,
and proof of it.
Chief of Police, is that man under investigation?
In what court?
I don't think we should even be talking about that. That's out of our hands.
I know.
That's it, the FBI's working on that.
I'm gonna follow
That's
Mr.
something
Red
we
Oak's
should-
lead,
we
and we're
should know
gonna go
anything
back
about
to
that.
resolution number 3218. Miss Rita Barnhart, the money for the children's court is $33,159 carryover. Okay, so here we are at resolution number 3218. I just mentioned all the programs. We got a motion. I do need a second to continue.
That was last year's, right?
Yeah.
I second it.
Seconded by Mr. Odyssey. All those in favor for all these programs to receive this carryover to help the common well-being of all the Comanche Nation people, please signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, same sign. Well, there you go, programs. Hopefully, we're just not in it to hire people.
There's the man right there. You ask him how you fall and whatever, he'll tell you.
Okay, how many people out here today have relatives that still haven't gotten their $478 dividend? Okay. We're gonna bring a motion forward. Robert Tippecanoe, Finley and Cook, City National Bank, the accountant of last. What happens here is people move, and we are definitely Comanche, very transitional. So we're going to go to this motion. The motion will be made by myself due to the fact the aforementioned motion will be acted upon to mail the $478 dividend to recipients in the week of February 5th, 2018, which will be Monday. These recipients have been reconciled by all parties, Finley and Cook, and hopefully, with the help of tribal enrollment. So I need a second to move on that action for us to get this done the week of February 5th.
Can you make a motion?
Parliamentary law, the newest version says I can, but.
I'll make that motion.
All right, let me take that
If they
motion
haven't
out of
got
my
it-
mouth for the
If they haven't got
record.
their money, and they're entitled to it, they need to get it.
I second it.
Second, all right. All those in favor for us to get this done, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right,
Mr. Nelson,
yes.
thank you. My
You bet,
son
man.
was one of them. It is because, as you may know, I told you that, you know, my kids live down in South Texas, Corpus Christi.
Right.
And they were affected by the Hurricane Harvey. They lost everything. They had no home, no address. So that's one of the reasons, you know, his was delayed. You know, we had to get that. We took care of that with Amber, to get him an address, and everything. So I thank you for that.
Well, thank you, Mr. Parker.
Word.
You know, I have admiration for you, Mr. Amos, Mr. Parker. Sometimes people are at odds. You know, the thing is, hopefully everything can be adjudicated. So we got a vote. We're going to get that done. We'll start Monday. One good thing, we had 98% of all Comanches got the dividend checks. This is the 2%, and there's quite a bit for 17,000 Comanches. Yes, sir.
My staff reviewed the list of names that we were given, and there have been several address changes. I just want to make that known before we go
That's where we
into
always.
mailing them, that there have been.
Just
some
worked
updates.
with Robert, you know,
Okay.
Robert's on it now, he's got the flu, so
Okay.
I'll probably fall back on me again, so,
Okay.
all right. Alrighty. Everybody, we do have a prosecutor that we spoke to. I do need someone to go to that portion about Miss Victoria Holland. They had an impartial review, impartial worldwide search, impartial core team to bring this prosecutor forward. Us to be an impartial elected body, our hands are out of the court. I need somebody from this committee. I don't want to delegate anybody. I wish somebody would come forward on this motion to affirm Miss Victoria Holland, who will be sworn in by our head judge, Miss Judge Otopobi.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make that motion.
Motion made by Mr.
Second.
Riddell, seconded by Mr. Narcomi. Business Committee to affirm the recommended prosecutor, Miss Victoria Holland, to our court system. Please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. And Ms. Nagel, this scope of work and things like this, more or less the biography of all the people with the grant that we got. How much disclosure? Of course, the court codes. What else is disclosure? Who they are, pictures of them.
In regard to the judges and the prosecutor and defense, we are going to be providing, we've already had a conversation with Jolene and PIO, and we're preparing their biographies, complete with their education, their law experience, where they're barred. All the details will be provided to PIO and will be disclosed in the March edition of the Comanche Nation News, as well as our prosecutor. We are currently in a nationwide search for our third associate district judge. We have submitted the RFP to IT to post on the website for our indigent defense attorney as well. That is another stipulation of the special jurisdiction grant that we have. And it's been brought to our attention that we do have some cases that are going to be transferring over from CFR court that are on the appeal level. So we are going to begin that process of RFPs for our Supreme Court level for the Comanche Nation Court. Once they are sworn in, all of those details will again be released to the nation at that time.
Very good, thank you, ma'am. All right, is Miss Carolyn here? Hi, Carolyn. We included you on the agenda, so if you don't mind, ma'am, I'll step out. I got a frog in my throat.
Okay. Dustin is going to cue a video, just a short video before I present his resolution.
I feel like our language is in a dire place right now. We have an interest in it. We just don't have an interest in a lot of people to teach it.
Is our language in trouble right now?
Yes. Comanches don't want to speak their language. They get interested, they act interested, then they don't come. It's up to us to just keep on talking to people and telling them how important it is.
Our language is the anchor to our culture and our identity. Without our language, we are just afloat.
honest, I'm really humbled to be in this position, because this is something that is so dear to my heart, this language. I've been co-facilitating meetings since July, since August, and so now it's been 7 months. And we meet weekly. There have been some weeks that we haven't met because holidays, the camping chief fair, and all these things But we met with everyone in our community that we could think of. Everyone that has anything to do with preservation, I've met with so many people, but I'm not the one that's, you know, it's a joint effort. It's like a task group that's been meeting. And so this resolution that I'm presenting today is kind of like a culmination of what we're recommending and what we would like to see moving forward with language revitalization. And so we met, like I said, we met with everyone in the community. We have met with experts that are working now in the field of revitalization. We've also met with tribal members that are stakeholders that do not live in Oklahoma. We've Skyped people in. We had a live stream event in November about language revitalization. And so it's been a core group of about 8 to 10 people, but that doesn't mean that's the only people that have been working on it. We've been working really hard, because we know that we need this for our language to go on. So that's some background. We have developed a proposal to the CBC that we have presented to them. And I have it in this notebook right here. But the CBC has already seen this proposal. We presented this to them at the beginning of January. And it's basically the plan of what we're doing. So should I just read the resolution? Or should I wait till they get back?
It's to the CBC, and we definitely were missing in action, so do you have any other comments you want to make before that?
Yeah, I do. I was trying to keep it short and sweet because I keep it real long-winded. But basically, the people that have been working on this, the majority are employees and that are working in the language already. And so people that have been helping me co-facilitate the meetings has been myself. I'm the director, and for the live stream purposes, I'm the CCDF director. I'm the director of the child care programs. And then Dustin Miller, who works for IT, he has been helping to co-facilitate the meetings. And also Randy Linda here, who is the director of the youth program. So Randy's program and my program have been working on language, utilizing our language and everything that we do at the Early Childhood Development Centers, and also what she does with the youth program. And so I've been the director since 2006, and I've been trying to have an effect on it. And one thing that, I know a lot more today than I did back in 2006 as far as trying to get the little guy speaking. And then Randy has been really instrumental in a lot of cultural and language activities for her program. And she has been an inspiration to me. And she has, her staff right now are going to be going after a language teacher certification in April, which has inspired me to also get certified as a language teacher in April. We have 3 different levels of language certification that the Comanche Language and Cultural Preservation Group certifies now. There are 3 different levels. and I believe that I'm ready to do level 1. But the goal is to move up to where I can become a fluent speaker. I don't know, I'm not sure what level you guys are going after, but it's really exciting times. We've learned a lot through this process since we've been meeting since August, the very first week in August. Since we've been meeting weekly, we've learned a lot. And this is a marathon, it's not a sprint. But the thing that we're really anxious about, we don't have very many speakers, people that speak right now that are left in our tribe. And we have to do something. We have to do, it's so vitally urgent. It should be the first priority of our people, but it's not. It's really not, but it should be to we are. So, you got anything to add? I didn't mean to ball bag on you, it's really important.
I just wanted to add that this particular resolution that we're presenting to the CBC has to do with starting a department. And we are going to be on the ballot, so whenever you do see this, it's the Comanche language department. It is something that is vital for educators or anybody who works with language. It is extremely important because we don't have any sources just to pull from that are already made. So what this would do is have a development and a plan that would make it easier and make it more accessible, not just to the educators, but accessible to the entire nation. So it is something that, like I said, we're going to be presenting this, and I hope that you guys, when we do see this on the ballot, that it's vital. We do not have time. We do not have the luxury of time. That's something that's going to always work against us. We're lucky that we do have some speakers that are willing to work and be part of this, but it's still, time is of the essence, so.
All right. Carolyn? You
Okay.
seen the video?
You missed the crying.
No, actually, I did hear you.
We already saw the video, so do you want me to read the resolution or do you want me to give it to you?
We have one problem. Mr. Odyssey got a phone call, an emergency at the house. He left all his paperwork for Clyde to pick up. We have lost our quorum. Everybody's sick. Everybody's sick. So with that, we've lost our quorum. We have lost the quorum, the legal quorum. So please give this to Julia. Please allow us, to get this ready for March, okay? And you had a presentation, we might have to bring it all back forward again, okay?
That's fine, that's fine. I do just want to say for the live stream purposes that we are still continuing to meet weekly. We do want to do another live stream event. We've done a lot of work since our last live stream event, which was like the middle of November. So we will have another live stream event to kind of bring it up, but we have the goals. Let me just read one little part on here what we have done. The following goals of the Comanche Language Planning Group have been identified and accomplished at this time. To create and propose a realistic staffing model for the planning and development team, to determine the criteria for qualified candidates, to create and propose a recruitment plan for identifying a pool of qualified candidates for the planning and development team, and to create and propose a budget for the planning and development team. And the one thing that we want to do is we want to get this on the ballot for the people to vote for, and we're going to be coming out in the communities and informing everyone of this work that we've accomplished. And we want to do a nationwide search for the director of a new department, which would be called the Comanche Language Department. And it would, after the director is hired, it's, that person that we're looking for is going to have a huge job. But we've got the job descriptions already, we've already got it typed out. We've already got the websites and the newspapers that we want to post in nationwide. We've already got how much those are going to cost. And so we would like for this to be done as soon as possible after the adoption by the people. And so we'll be bringing it out into the communities, be looking on the website. We'll be bringing stuff on the website for informational purposes so that all of our people will know the hard work that we're trying to do to revitalize our language. There's so many languages out there that are being revitalized, and I believe that, Alpha wants this for us. He does.
Thank you, Ms. Cutter. Well, at the, yes.
I know you don't have a quorum.
Yes, sir.
My request doesn't require a quorum, but it requires a statement from you. On the way down here, we were listening to you on live stream, and you were speaking about enrollment, children, people. You used the word that referred to people wrongfully. You used the word pedigree. Pedigree is for animals, dogs, cats, horses, cows, Appaloosas. We are human beings. You owe myself, my wife, and all of these people with children here, you owe us an apology. Our word, namana, the old phrase, human beings, the real humans. You should apologize for that.
Ikaw na tenap kena supanay.
Sa supanay, keta tekwanat sa, keswa, ket.
Nelson, why can't you talk in English that we can
Well,
understand?
all I can say is if that offended people, I'm surely sorry.
That's all you had to say.
Okay.
Thank you.
See you later, Burgess. Yes, sir.
Since we're talking about enrollment, I'd say that we need to do or I recommend that we need an enrollment audit, a short one, like 1, 2, 3 years.
Yeah.
That the past audit didn't cover, and we could have a consultant come in here and do it. That way it show us the need for a comprehensive audit. Then also I like to.
Needs to be somebody from not here. You can't do it internally, Gabby.
Independent outside. And also I'd like to be put on the agenda for expansion of the winter audit. I don't know the procedures yet. Into gaming and other suspected areas, because we have about 160 million, unbudgeted gaming revenue, supposedly.
Yeah.
And then also, there were some proposed amendments in December by the CBC, and I have some recommendations on that. And
Hey,
one of the
Gabby.
main recommendations
Gabby.
is to,
Mr. Gabby? Gabby, at General Counsel, I wish you'd bring one big subject, just one, not ambiguous, just one subject for our people at the annual meeting.
well, anyway, there's a recommendation here that say that any council resolution should have a referendum vote. That way, all the Comanches will have a chance to vote on it.
Yeah.
Because we've had some destructive resolutions in the past, real bad ones, and the coffee presented. Yeah, we don't want to do that no more.
Yeah.
But anyway, I've got a handout on that one, and it's all, I tried to cover everything in here concerning those destructive amendments and destructive resolutions and positive resolutions.
Those that do pray, please keep the Odyssey family, Cawthorn family, and Mr. Tipiconi's family in your prayers. Please. Be safe getting home, Mr. Burgess.